Most people are living in a financial house with no foundation. They just keep stacking money on sound and wondering why nothing stands. Welcome to Minted Knowledge, your hub for financial knowledge. I'm your host, Tim Lane, and this is where the confused will become confident and where every episode will be another stone in your foundation. So get your writing material, pay rapt attention, the class is in session. In 2013, two economists with long and very complex names, Sendil Mulignathan and Elder Shafir, published a groundbreaking book called Scarcity, and it changed the whole dynamics of economics. The research inside completely changed how we understand poverty, and it shifted the perspective from simple economic lack to the deep psychology of not enough. Proud to that, people often associate poverty with economic lack. But after that particular research, things changed. And here is the key takeaway from their work. Basically said, when people feel they don't have enough of something, whether it is money, whether it is time, or anything at all, that feeling completely consumes their cognitive bandwidth. In simple terms, when people feel that they don't have enough of something, it changes the way they think. And to prove this, they gather some set of people, perform a test on them. Now, this test is split into two. Part one of the test is when they do not have a worry. And then for the second part, they introduce an hypothetical financial worry, like an unexpected car repair bill or a pending school fee. So for people who were not financially stressed, the thought of that particular bill barely affected their performance. Their scores stayed steady. But for people already experiencing a certain level of financial stress, at the mere mention of that financial worry, it caused their scores to drop by the equivalent of 13 IQ points. A single financial worry made intelligent people measurably less capable of thinking clearly, and this is what they refer to as the scarcity trap. For a very long time, I didn't even realize how deeply this trap ran in our everyday lives. And this conversation originally came up when one of my brother's friends was having a conversation with him. His name is Bro AY. When I first met Bro AY, he had just received a massive promotion at work, a 40% increase in fact, and it came with a brand new title and a sleek corner office. And my brother can remember the day he got it, the way Uncle AY was brewing with happiness. It was literally glowing with happiness. But a month later, my brother asked him how he was feeling in his new financial bracket. And Bro AY looked at him and his response was, and if I can remember, quoting directly, "Omo, I still feel broke." Mind you, his rent had not changed, his core expenses had barely moved, yet his psychological feeling was identical to when he was earning half that amount. He still felt like he didn't have enough, and he was still spending down to his last kobo before his next balance hits. I think this is something that you can remember from our previous episodes. And he still couldn't sleep past the 28th of any month. He was experiencing the exact same financial anxiety, but now he was working with an entirely different salary bracket. So it was kind of confusing. And I realized then that anxiety wasn't about money. It was about a very deep-seated mindset that he had been living with for as long as he could remember. For so long that anxiety felt like an absolute reality for him. In this particular episode, we'll be talking about scarcity mindset, what it is, how it functions inside your brain, and how to start dismantling it, even if your current bank balance has not changed. Because I need you to understand an uncomfortable truth. You can be objectively doing fine financially and be mentally and emotionally trapped in poverty thinking. And that trap will weaponize every financial decision you make against you. When your mind is completely preoccupied with lack, you have less mental space for strategic planning. or patience or even long-term thinking. You just end up making your worst financial decision precisely when you most desperately need to make good ones. I've been a victim of this. And this happened not because you lack intelligence, but because your brain is running on a background program called not enough. And that program is consuming your processing power 24 hours a day. That's 7 days a week. And the devastating part, your brain does not automatically upgrade its software just because your income improves. You have to consciously choose the upgrade yourself. Sorry, I'm using laptop terms. In finance, we call a concept opportunity costs, which is basically the value of what you give up when you choose one option over another. And we usually apply this to money, but scarcity mindsets create a massive invisible opportunity cost on your everyday decision. When you are trapped in scarcity, you focus intently on the immediate crisis. How do I survive until payday? How do I cover this urgent bill? In doing so, you completely lose sight of the bigger picture. Recently, I had a similar situation like that. I was in a particular problem, and my focus was just on that, and I didn't think beyond that particular problem. I didn't think long term into it and what the effect of that can be. When you take loan because of the pressure of the next bill you want to pay, even though the loan will cost you double next month, or when you refuse to negotiate your current salary because you fear losing this particular job offer, thereby leaving you in an underpayment situation, or when you don't start investing because your mind tells you to wait until you have millions, thereby losing out on years of compounding. That is just scarcity mindset speaking. Scarcity thinking is costing you real money every single day. It's not because you can't afford to build wealth, but because the mental bandwidth required to even consider building wealth is being fully consumed by fear. Overcoming a scarcity mindset is not about playing pretend or acting like you have more money than you do. It is about training your brain to see possibilities alongside your current reality. I was telling an acquaintance recently that when you start seeing things from a possibility mindset, it opens you up to lots of opportunities. Scarcity mindset asks you, what don't I have? Whereas abundance would ask you, what do I have right now and how can I grow it? Scarcity would see a 10,000 naira savings balance as completely pointless, whereas abundance would see the same 10,000 naira as a foundational beginning. Scarcity would say, I can never afford that, whereas abundance would say, I haven't figured out how to leverage that yet. Do you notice the shifts in both thinking? And this entire shift does not start in your bank account. It starts in the very first question you ask yourself every morning. Now, I want to be very clear. Some people face severe financial disadvantages, and I will not minimize that in any way. But running a scarcity mindset only makes those real-world challenges worse. Abundant thinking isn't magic. Abundant thinking isn't magic. It is simply what gives your cognitive space, your brain, to find and act on a solution that a panic mind will never see. You are not trapped by your income. You are running by a story your brain has been running for years. So for the next 7 days, I want you to do this one simple thing that yields massive compounding results if you practice it. Every single morning, I want you to say out loud 3 financial assets you already possess. Now, it doesn't have to be something extravagant. It can be an income that you already have, even if it is a small one. It can be a phone or a device, maybe the one you are using to listen to this podcast. It is an asset. It can be a skill or a bit of technical knowledge that someone will pay you for. Or it can be something as simple as a family member or a friend you can call in an absolute emergency. These are all assets. This is not toxic positivity or meaningless affirmation. It is basically a deliberate tactical exercise to widen your mentality. It would interrupt that background program of not enough by showing you proof of assets that you already have. So do this for 7 days and just notice. Notice if anything shifts in the way that you approach your financial decision daily. And rewriting this story would not fill your bank account overnight, like I already said, but but it will unlock the mental door that every subsequent action you take actually carries power to show you the opportunities surrounding you and the possibilities of achieving them. I hope you've been able to extract some deep values from Bro AY's story. Remember, scarcity mindsets close up your mind because you'll be worrying 90% of the time. Abundance mindsets and abundance thinking open up your mind to possibilities. So it's less for you to pick whichever one you want. Every great house starts with a decision to build something that lasts. And you just made that decision. This is Minted Knowledge. Keep building, and I'll see you in the next episode.